All right. There we go. Now, if it'll just work. Okay. Now, that just needs to stay secure for me. Hello, everyone. 1 second. One second. Hi. Okay. Now I want to see. Hey guys, I'm just working out how I can keep the live chat up. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Let's see. This is the first time I've attempted this, and I don't know if anybody can hear me. Hello. Hey, everybody, tell me if you can hear me. Yes. Okay. Cool. All right. And I forgot my glasses. I'm gonna need my glasses for this. Hang out for a second. I'll be right back. Let's see. Oh, there. All right. Okay. This isn't the first time I've done this, but it's been a long time since I've done it. So I've got to do some sketches for some patrons, and I thought maybe you guys would want to join me for that. I've got the live chat over here, so I can glance over there and see what you guys are saying, because my camera's up here sort of over my shoulder. Peter's the new leader. All right. Melissa says, do you take commissions? I haven't for a while, but I could. I was doing like $20 for a commission, I think, last year. So if you'd like one, hello, Leah. If you'd like one, I guess just send me a message, send me an email or a message on Facebook or whatever, and we can see if I can work in the time to do it. Oh, where's oh yeah, hold on. I'm drawing spirit. I'm all right, Lazarus. So you'll have to forgive me. I won't be able to keep a constant eye on the live chat because I got to focus on my drawing here. Hello, Dale. Hello, Ben. Nice to see you. Oh yeah. I did a Flint for Ben. I'm glad you liked it. I've got 3 sketches to do. I kind of have them already sort of blocked out here. And I say sketches, but like it's sort of already at the sketch phase. So it's more like a fully rendered drawing than an actual sketch. But for patrons, I like to give them a little bit more than just a sketch. So I'm doing spirit. And you may not be able to see it too well. Unless I can, let me see if I can zoom that in a little bit. Oh, all right, let's see. Oh yeah, a little bit. Okay, hold on. No, nobody panic. But if okay, that's pretty zoomed in. If I don't move it, then you won't be able to see the drawing. You'll only see my shoulder. So let's try that. Okay. All right. So that's what I was hoping wouldn't happen. Hang on here. All right. Okay. All right. And we're back. Let's see. Make sure that's on there fairly securely. All right. That's as good as that's going to get, I think. There we go. Okay. All right. We took a little adventure. Okay. All right. So let's, this is my eraser here. It looks like, I mean, I've got it up on my screen here, and it looks like there's quite a bit of lag. So sorry about that. But I've been needing to get these done for like 2 months now, so I decided tonight is the night to do it. It felt like a Sunday night activity. So I figured I'm going to do some drawing tonight, and why don't I try to live stream it? And just see if anyone wants to join. Yeah, gravity, the ultimate enemy. Yeah, I kind of MacGyvered up a mount for my phone because I kind of gave away my only phone mount for my tripod to someone else who needed it, and so I don't have one now. I am gonna get another one. I just don't have it yet. So yeah, I kind of had to create a makeshift mount for the camera. I mean, for my phone. Okay, so for Spirit's braids, I've got one kind of coming around and then resting on his shoulder, and the other one's going to be going behind his back. And I've got their figure here for reference. Let's see. So we're going to have like a feather necklace here with some claws on it, and then we've got I'm just going to give him one grenade because I don't think he needs more than that. One grenade that apparently is just hanging on his pocket. All right, so there. There, okay. All right, and he's got a knife on this side. Something like that. All right, so these are sketches for patrons. And I'm trying to take care of my patrons a little bit better than I have been. I know I've been distracted. But first of all, that should not happen. I shouldn't allow myself to become distracted because people are being very generous and I need to give them what they are paying for. But with the situation as it is now, I'm going to be depending on Patreon funds more than ever before. So I need to make sure that I deliver on my promises for patrons. One thing I like to do when I'm drawing is I like to make the pouches a little bit bigger than they appear on the figures because I just think it looks better. Okay, there is a strap there that is unpainted. I really like the Spirit version 1 action figure, but there are some details on the chest that really ought to be painted. That really would make a big difference. All right, a couple feathers, couple claws, 2-3 claws on that necklace. There we go. Yeah, we all get distracted, and I've had many distractions. Life has been chaotic, and that's putting it generously. Um, it's done in good spirit. Thanks. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Let's see. I've got kind of a. He's kind of got his head sort of slightly tilted up, and kind of a got a hero pose going on here. I struggled with how to draw the eagle, and I did look at some references. I didn't want to have the wings out. That's maybe just a little too overdone. So I wanted to have the eagle at rest, but I was just having a hard time figuring out how to position the eagle. So we'll see if it turns out. Okay, kind of get that nose here. All right. All right. Sorry, it was just concentrating there just for a minute. What's going on in the live chat, guys? Lazarus says, how did I develop my artistic skills? I did go to art school for about a year when I was 18, so that was a hell of a long time ago. I just drew a lot before then, copying a lot of other people, just trying to learn things. I got books that helped me learn how to do certain things. But a lot of it's just practice. I never got the skill level that I really wanted. I always wanted to kind of be at that professional level, but I just didn't have the time to devote to developing that level of skill. So for those who look closely, you will see plenty of flaws in my work, but I try to keep it at the fun level. I just try to keep enjoying it and not put a lot of pressure on myself, because I'm not a comic book professional. I'm not a commercial artist. This is supposed to be fun for me, so that's just where I try to keep it. But a lot of it's getting books that showed me some techniques, practice, and then a little bit of art school. All right. Maybe like that grenade needs to be drawn in. All right. Yeah, so I am newly single, I guess. Living on my own again, which is okay. But I am highly motivated to get some videos done and get the content flowing, because well, first of all, because I really want to, and because I've neglected it for so long, and I'm really eager to get back to it, but also because I'm going to be relying on my revenue and Patreon and super chats and stuff like that to live on. now that I've got to basically pay for everything myself, which again is okay. It's all right because I can. It gives me a good reason to focus and do more videos and do better videos, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. I actually feel kind of inspired. I feel like I've got new goals for the channel. In the past, I had one top goal for the channel, and that was to reach 10,000 subscribers, and we did that. And after that, just everything was cake, but I don't know. I kind of need a challenge, and so I've got some goals. I've got some aims. I've got some things I want to do with the channel, and I've got some motivation to do it. All right, there's a pocket there. And there's a pocket, let's see, there. Kind of details get a little bit cluttered there. Okay. All right, sorry guys, I'll check the super chat here in a second. All right, starting to look like Spirit. Let's get his other braid here. All right, starting to look like Spirit. I'll have to find a way to darken his hair in a little bit. Falconer is talking about Astro Boy. Okay, cool. Let's play on Linux. Hello, how do you do? I still have the law gig. Yes, that is true. For those who don't know, I am a lawyer and a public defender. And for those who are unaware, nobody in public service is getting rich, you might say, but I do like that. I do like the job. It gives me an opportunity to help people. I have a career of helping people, and that is a great thing. In fact, that's the reason I went to law school in the first place, is to so that I could help people. And now I do that. I do that for my day job. So, I mean, that's great. But your average public defender is not raking in the big bucks. I think I'm not complaining. That's just a reality. Let's see, another little pocket over here. It's kind of at a different angle. There. All right, we have a belt. Little belt details. It's coming along. I don't know if you guys are getting a decent angle here, but it's coming along. I got to do 2 more after this one, and then I think I have like 5 in total to actually package up and send. But I just saw that somebody increased their patronage to $20 recently, so I need to find that person and message that person and find out what sketch that person needs, because I want to get these done and I want to get them out. So he's gonna have like fist on the hip. Very Superman pose that Spirit is doing here. I just like this. When I think of spirit, I think of dignity. I think of, you know, he's got an eagle. The eagle is majestic, and I feel like his character should match that. Spirit is maybe doesn't have the greatest sense of humor, um, but he's someone you can always count on. He is. He's a serious guy. All right, there we go. And he's got kind of these buckskin trousers, and he's got another knife on the left leg. So let's kind of hint at this knife. It's kind of at an extreme angle there to the side. All right. Spirit of Steel. Yeah. I'm gonna have to tackle that eagle, but I'm putting it off because I'm just not sure what I want to do with it yet. And the eagle will probably be the weak point in this drawing, to be truthful. Okay. Let's see. Let's move on. All right. All right. There's a little strap that goes around his leg, like so. The strap would like sort of pinch the cloth of his trousers. And he's got a little bit of fringe, doesn't he? He does, but we don't get to see the fringe because it's like we don't have a good angle at this pose to see the fringe. Maybe we can see the fringe a little bit. Let's put in a little bit of fringe here. But this knife covers up a lot of it. And on the other leg, it's on the opposite side. Yeah, every time someone takes his land or infringes on his rights or the treaties signed with his peoples, Spirit, it just gives Spirit a really lousy day. You know, he finds himself annoyed sometimes. Although, according to so Spirit is like the kind of the opposite of Airborne, who's one of the other Native American characters. Airborne's family was rich; they were like oil rich, and Spirit's family was dirt poor. And I think I can, you know, I like Airborne. I do. He's one of my favorite 1983 characters, but I think I can relate more to Spirit than Airborne. Because remember, Airborne joined the army because he didn't want to be a lawyer. He went to law school, no doubt paid for by his parents. He passed the Arizona bar and decided, screw this, I'm going to join the army. Well, that's fine. I'm glad that he was able to do that. But he got an education. He had opportunities. Opportunities that someone like Spirit never had. And if he did have them, he would probably appreciate them a lot more. And honestly, I've known people like that. I've known like rich kids who like they get an education paid for by their parents. It's just handed to them, and they just blow it off. That is not what I want to do. You know, I'd rather be a yoga instructor. You know, whereas like there are a lot of people in the world who will never get that opportunity. All right. All right. Well, there's Spirit. We got to tackle that eagle, huh? The eagle is not going to be perfect. I'm going to. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm probably just sort of gonna draw over what I've got here and call it a day. Peter Ink says, I really want to be an animator, but think working for the government isn't that bad. I don't know. Maybe there are some animators for the government. I do not understand what you're saying, Autobahn 303, but thumbs up anyway. Make the eagle your own style. I'm trying. It's definitely not going to be too realistic, but I just want it to be an acceptable pose that looks right. So you know, he's got legs here, and he's got a body, and I think the shoulder of one wing is showing there, and then the shoulder of the other wing is coming down here, and we'll just kind of get the hint of feathers. And the tail. What I'm worried about with this eagle is that it'll not be at the same level of detail as Spirit, and so it'll look out of place. So I'm going to try to get lint. There's lint on the page. I'm going to try to get a little bit of feather detail in here. But that's just not really working very well. All right. Okay. All right. The head is gonna go like this. Give him like a little bit of eyebrow there. Make him look fierce. All right. Okay, that is far from perfect, but I think that's the best I can do. And I got to get this kid. He's got black hair. I've got to kind of shade his hair in a little bit. I don't want to make him blonde. Let's give him his proper black hair. All right. Okay, I am declaring this Spirit done. All right, this is, let's see, sign my name, HCC788, and we're still in May 2020. Okay, all right, that's one. Next, I think I need to move on to Zartan. Okay, let's move on to Zartan. This one I'm declaring done. Oh, hey, hello, Vincent. I thank you, Vincent. I'm doing all right. The last few days have been not super easy. I've had a couple rough days, but I'm just trying to keep my eyes on the future and keep my head up. So, yeah. So there's Spirit. Let's go on to Zartan. And what I did before I got started here is I just sort of sketched out generally what I wanted. Take a drink of my soda here. Thank you, Gaz. Hello, Mud Puppy. Hello, Burgess Meredith. Okay. Let's see. So this is a Zartan, and I can already tell that the head isn't the shape I want, but the pose will be all right. I've got Zartan in a little bit more of an action pose. He's a little bit on the thicker side from Spirit. His costume may be a slightly different from the figure, but it's gonna be mostly figure accurate. Thank you, Juan. Thank you very much. Welcome back, Green Yeti. Yes, that's true, Dagon. And I have been talking to some friends who have helped me out a lot. And I will be okay, but you know, everything's new right now. I'm having to learn how to live on my own, and it's not always easy, but I'll be all right. It'll be okay. So anyway, let's start on Zartan here, and like I said, I can tell the head isn't quite the shape that I want. Let's kind of clean up these construction lines a little bit. The Care Bears villains, I don't like. All I remember from the Care Bears is the Care Bear movie, and I only remember that because my daughters watched it over and over and over. Yeah, Cujo is a great guy. Cujo is genuinely a really, really cool guy. He's one of the good ones. Happy Memorial Day, Anthony. It's a little early, but happy Memorial Weekend anyway. All right, let's make Zartan happen here. I feel like his head's just not right. His head's just a little bit too big. So let's rein it in here a little bit. Okay? Got a heavier eraser. Let's see. Let's do that. All right. Let's see. I just want it there-ish. Okay. If I can get a general idea of where things should be, I can do it. Let's see, Aaron, Steven, last stream hit, yeah, and I'm sorry for hitting you that hard, Aaron. It hit me kind of hard, but I felt that everybody should know, and I needed to explain to everyone what was going on. So, yeah, I felt like I had to tell everyone, and I wanted to tell everyone in a live stream because it felt more like I was talking directly to you rather than making a video out of it. So Yeah, uh, there are many great changes going on, and we will all have to adjust. Um, but there's some good news. For instance, this weekend, my daughter was over, and we had a really good time. We had a really good weekend. We did some stuff together, um, and it was fun. So, um, like, one of the big things for me is making sure my daughter is taken care of, and that seems to be going okay. Uh, and the other thing is to make sure that I can pay my bills, because I need to make sure that my daughter has a roof over her head, and we have food, and electricity, and bills are paid, and things like that. So um, that just doesn't feel right, does it? I have a particular way I like to draw Zartan's chest plate, and it usually works out okay for me, but it's wanting to be a struggle this evening. All right, I think that'll work. Essentially, like, uh, chest plate sort of takes the shape of the rib cage. Um, yes, Bills. Those Williams. It's a never-ending story. All right. I think the dog's gonna want to go outside. Hold on, I'm coming, dog. See what you did? Okay, let's try that again. All right. Okay, well, that's not the right angle. Okay. Let's, all right. No. That's not it at all. Hold on. There, let's try that. Yeah, the dog is very loud. Okay, sorry about that. That's the second time the phone has fallen. So this live stream is a thrill ride. So Zartan has like this little bit of his pants that go above his belt. Kind of reminds me of football pads. Okay, and then there. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's kind of blocked out, okay. Airwolf checking in. Hello, Airwolf. Nice to see you. I'm sorry, the dog is loud. Yeah, she apparently needed to go outside. She had a barking emergency. She had to go outside and bark. Oh, now she wants in. Hang on. Are you gonna be good? You gonna be good, or are you gonna be loud? Okay. So anyway, all right. This is closer to what I want. So there is this piece of tape is given up. There is the start of Zartan. And let's just draw it in. Let's just draw it in. And I think this one's going to be a little more straightforward. Sometimes I do Zartan sort of morphing into his like invisible camouflage or whatever. But this one I just feel like doing a straight Zartan. You know, just straight Zartan in an action pose. That's what this one feels like to me. Let's see. Eyes, nose, mouth. Okay. Let's get it. And the shape of the cowl is often a challenge. And its features be a little different than Spirit, obviously. I feel like Zartan has a flatter nose and kind of a wider mouth. Because that's, to me, that's kind of what the figure looks like. The figure looks like it has sort of a fuller face, whereas he's not usually drawn that way. But that's how I interpret the figure. And he's got the spooky eyes with no pupils. Speaking of Zartan, Timur on Half the Battle has been doing main character May on Zartan, and that's been a lot of fun. So he goes into a lot of depth on Zartan. Obviously, since he does a whole month of videos on the character. So I mean, he's gone into more depth on Zartan than I probably ever will. Yeah, go check out Half the Battle to see Timur's videos on Zartan that he's been doing all through May. And if you're a patron, then you just today got early access to the next one. So yeah, I like Timur. I like him as a person. He's been a very good friend to me. I appreciate a lot of the help that he's given me. I actually sent Timur a box. I got for Timur a figure that he's been looking for. I actually purchased it for him. This is back when I had money, right? I actually purchased it for him. And I sent it to him along with a bunch of other stuff. I sent him a whole box of stuff because I thought that would be fun for him to do an unboxing of a bunch of stuff. And that was just before like the pandemic lockdown really hit that I sent it. And it has been stuck. It's been 2 months since I sent that box, and as far as I can tell, it's still sitting in a warehouse in Chicago. And so I've tried to contact the Postal Service to find out what's going on with it. Haven't been able to talk with anyone. Still trying, but someday Timur will get this box that I sent to him. I put some special stuff in there too. So I am excited and looking forward to him doing the unboxing, you know, someday when he actually gets the box. Yeah, no motorcycles. That was, I mean, there were motorcycles. Okay, technically there were motorcycles, and technically there was a Dreadnought motorcycle. And I'm not talking about the Dreadnought cycle either, which was a three-wheeled cycle. I mean, there was an actual Dreadnought motorcycle, sort of. Because there was the Sears exclusive Dreadnought ground assault set, which included a recolored version of the Ram motorcycle. Now that's fairly obscure. That's a very rare set. I don't have it. So I don't know if necessarily everyone even wants to include that because it was a Sears exclusive set. It wasn't, not everybody could get it. If you didn't have a Sears nearby, or you're just couldn't find one, then you'd never have a chance to own that one. So it's up in the air whether you want to count that or not. And I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean, it was in the toy line, but it was in the toy line, but in a way that was hard for most kids to get it. So, yeah, but technically, there was a Dreadnought motorcycle. But also, it was not original. It was just a recolored Ram motorcycle. So that's another reason you might not want to count it, because it's like they didn't actually design a motorcycle for the Dreadnoughts. They just recolored a G.I. Joe motorcycle. So it's not like a Harley, right? It's not a hog. It's it's the Ram with the gun on the side. All right, I'm gonna work on this pistol. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit like Zartan's pistol, but not exactly. Sorry, guys. Not keeping this over here where you can see it. All right, and this live stream will last just until I'm done drawing. I'm not. I have to admit, I'm not grabbing Zartan to reference for this, so I'm just gonna suggest his pistol here. This is a sketch after all. Okay, gloves. All right, trigger. Hands are always the trickiest to draw. It's such a pain to draw hands. Especially for me, since I'm far from a professional artist. I just do my best. Okay, let me sharpen my pencil a little bit, and you can take a peek at what I'm working on. While I'm doing that, I can take a peek in the live chat. Peter Ang says, feeling whether some G.I. Joe characters are shirtless because Hasbro is always trying to copy He-Man. There was some attempt to copy He-Man, yeah. My understanding is that Duke was a little bit inspired by He-Man, but do keep in mind in the 80s, tough guys going shirtless, that was a popular thing, and I personally blame Sylvester Stallone, because in every damn movie he found a reason to get his shirt off. So yeah, that's kind of an 80s thing. Mr. Commendador, yeah, a reference for drawing hands is a good idea. Okay. Yes, Arnold did it too. Arnold, at least as much as Stallone, was always shirtless. So, Over the Top. Over the Top is such a silly movie. It is so, I don't know. It's a product of its time, I guess. So anyway, yeah, we're back to drawing. Gonna kind of do the lower half of the drawing here, and then add some details, and I'll call this one done. And then after this one, I need to do Beachhead. And I am going to get the figure for Beachhead because that one just has a lot of little bits on it that it'll be too difficult for me to get it right if I don't have the figure for reference. I think he needs a chin divot. Put a divot on his chin. All right. A lot of times I draw like the front zipper on trousers on characters because, I mean, they've got to have some way to go to the bathroom, right? They've got to have some way to hit the head. You've got to think of these things. This is a practical matter. The uniform may look awesome, but, you know, you're going to have to go to the men's room at some point. So, you know, you got to have some way of escape, you might say. Your trousers need an escape route. Okay, that kind of has a there. All right. Clean up those construction lines a little bit. What's going on in the live chat? Peter says, I depicted Zartan in my G.I. Joe story as old biker man. Yeah, I can see that. I think that makes a lot of sense. And Zartan, I think, just sort of gives the impression of someone who's older. So that, yeah. I could dig that. Now, if I were redesigning these characters, I might attempt that. I might attempt doing an old biker Zartan, because I think that would look kind of cool. All right, get some crease lines on the trousers. Let's see, his knees are about there. Trousers bunch up at the knees a little bit because he's bending his knees. All right. Okay. Now my recollection. Oh, hello, Comic Tropes. Speak up. I'm doing the best I can. The problem is like the camera's over here and like the live chat is over here. But thank you for the super chat, and I'll try to speak up. So let's see. My recollection is that the boots are kind of cut so that like they're higher on the outside leg, and like they cut down on the inside leg. I could just get Zartan and what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and get Zartan. I will. I mean, it's kind of late now because I'm working on the boots, but hold on, let me get Zartan. I'll take a drink of my soda first. Is this loud enough? Oh yeah, he has like armor on his boots. Yeah, I was doing those totally wrong. All right. Okay, I have Zartan for reference. Well, I'm getting a lot of lag here, so sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So I just mainly want to see his boots. Oh, okay. They're not like that. Okay. Okay, all right, so that's wrong. let me fix that. I mean, it's not the worst mistake, but it is a design element that could be better. I think it'd look better the way it is on the figure, so let's just do that. Who's shirtless? If there's an episode of G.I. Joe where they mock the censorship of the cartoon, yeah, that would be very meta. Although I think Buzz Dixon said that when he took over, you know, I mean, of course, they weren't allowed to show death, but you know, he's like, hey, this is war, right? So even though, in his mind, even though you know you couldn't show death on screen, just off screen, those Cobra Troopers, they were dying. So you saw the guys that parachuted out of the airplane at the last second, but for Buzz, you know, off screen there was the guy who didn't make it out. So you know, he's trying to have the mindset of, you know, more realistic, but of course the television standard at the time would not allow that to really happen. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of do it like this. It's not exactly like the figure, but I just kind of like this idea. Okay. Okay, and that's gonna go like that. Bunches a little bit at the leg where it goes into the boot. And get these boots something, at least a little bit like what they're supposed to look like. Okay, so that's like, it goes like, how? All right, it goes like this, and there's a bit of a heel there, and then there's this circular thing. So then this, and then it comes down here, some double lines. Okay, so that's how that works, and kind of the same. He's got cool boots. Hey, do any of the Zartan cosplayers ever recreate these boots? Because these boots are kick-ass. I'd wear these boots. I'd just wear these boots every day. They'd be like, you know, when I go to court or just when I'm in the office, I'm like, yeah, these are my boots. What you gonna do about it? You don't like these boots? How about I hide them straight up your ass when I kick it? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. That's got to be a bit more curved there. Okay. All right. I am mostly satisfied with that. The proportions may not be perfect on this guy, but that's because I'm not very good. All right, so let me go through here and just suggest a little bit of shading or whatever. Darken in these the face makeup. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll just kind of on some of the, or on the I guess the advertisement artwork for Zartan back in 1984, the artwork that was on the catalogs, they gave him like a pointed hood, which Oh, I didn't need to draw that on there. Which, I don't know, I just always thought it looked really odd, and I never really liked that. And it wasn't really reflected on the figure. But yeah, you can, there's artwork of Zartan with a pointed hood. Not my favorite, not my favorite. Okay, let's, all right, let's, it's got a lot of black, and like, I don't want to like use the pencil like a crayon and just darken in everything, but I just feel like it should have some contrast. I'll, kind of shape it a little bit, shape the fingers. Yeah, like that. All right, and let's see here. Oh, how are we doing? Psych Out is the team's resident therapist. Yes, and honestly, I think Psych Out is a far more useful character than might seem obvious at first. Not so much for psychological warfare against the enemy, but because a team like G.I. Joe team, where people are putting their lives in danger often, there are psychological effects to that, and they're going to need somebody. They're going to need somebody who can manage or help the team manage those psychological effects. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of guys who will very quickly not be fit for combat. So yeah, Psych Out is a needed, a valuable. He has a valuable job on the team. I should say, a valuable non-combat role. Okay. And I'm hoping that this doesn't all just turn out to be a huge mess, but we're going to try it. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. Belt. Let's see. Which G.I. Joe character is a midget? Gidget. It was Gidget, the girl midget. Anybody ever see that movie, Gidget? I mean, there's a TV show later, but like the movie. It was Sandra Dee in that movie, right? Wasn't it? It's been a long time since I've seen it. But I liked it at the time. Remember, was it Moondoggy? Wasn't that the love interest name, Moondoggy? It was the 50s. Surfers were big rebels at the time. All right. We're about done with Zartan here. All right. And there's a bit of thickness to that boot, so we're going to see a little bit of edge on the top end there. Okay. Let's sketch in these details. All right. Okay, and then this is going to be like that. And guys, I'll check the chat again here momentarily. Let's kind of do opposite angle lines on these parts. Yeah. Okay. Trying to sort of do the lines, do some lines in the contour of the shape. Sort of back myself into a corner there. That tape is done. That tape ain't working. It's lost all of its stickiness. All right. Okay, other boot. About to declare Zartan done. And then move on to Beachhead. What time is it? About 10? It was Sandra D. Thank you very much. All right. This foot is a little bit closer to camera, so it should be just a little bit larger. It's also facing, so there we go. All right, and this pencil is just getting dull. Donald Duck is the best G.I. Joe character. Well, he was a sailor. He could have served with shipwreck. Anthony Allen says, draw me a beachhead. Well, I'm drawing a beachhead for somebody. I'm drawing a beachhead for a patron on the Patreons. So I will draw a beachhead. Yes, Aaron, you're not the first person to notice that. Fortnite seems to have borrowed some design elements from Firefly. Do keychain Joes fit on the flag aft deck? Well, the Joes that came on the keychain, like in the 90s, they were regular 3 3/4 inch figures. So I mean, they would fit on the flag as well as any other 3 3/4 inch figures would. So the answer to that is sort of. There's not a lot of headroom on the aft deck of the flag. All right. And as soon as I'm done with the next drawing, I will call it a night because I'm getting pretty tired. I got a lot done today. It was a very productive day, but also kind of an exhausting day. So, be looking forward to getting some rest. But I'm glad. Thanks to everyone who joined. Thanks for joining. There's like 33 people right now watching. So thank you to everyone who actually showed up just to watch me scribble. And I'm gonna call that Zartan done because I need to. So let me sign it here. May 2020. Okay, so let me go get the beachhead that I started. Okay. I gotta, somewhere I have more tape. Oh, there it is. Hang on a second. Hang on, I'm getting some more tape. How's everybody doing? Everybody hanging in there? Okay. Comic Tropes said hamburger parade for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Zartan disguised as Core Whispering Willie. That's I like that. That's clever. Well done. Okay. That piece of tape is shot. Oops. So I have another piece of tape. I'll try to keep this closer to the camera. Put Zartan back in his box. There we go. There we go. And I do have Beachhead for a reference. Wow, that is really lagged. I'm looking at the screen over here, and there's at least like a 10-second lag. But anyway, I have Beachhead for a reference, and I've kind of got them started here. One thing that I did differently on this is that I've got the ammo pouch strap. So drop the figure stand. I've got the ammo pouch strap going over his left shoulder rather than his right shoulder, just because I've kind of wanted that crisscross here, that tension with the rifle or the submachine gun that's going to be going that way. So I wanted to have that X there, you know. So we'll see if that works. So let's get it going here. Oh, hello, John Carling. Beachhead was always in charge of his teams. Excellent. So John Carling is a real artist, and I am an enthusiastic amateur, but we're going to attempt to draw a beachhead here. I'm going to kind of clean up some of my construction lines a little bit. And let's go. And I'm not, I'm being super lazy, and I'm not using straight edges. These are supposed to be sketches after all. They will come out to be a little more fully rendered than what usually qualifies as a sketch, but we're not quite on the level of breaking out the straight edge to draw the straight lines on the rifle. Thank you, Mike Steven. Thank you very much. John Carling's Beachhead died a lot. That unfortunately happens to to leaders. You know, they first in and first to get shot sometimes. Okay, here we go. Let's see. All right. He's got gloves. And let's see here. You kind of suggest where his hands are. And the rifle is kind of tilted. The trigger guard there. Let me get this. I don't necessarily need the rifle to be. I don't need the rifle to necessarily be exactly the same as it is on the figure, but I just want to kind of get a general shape of it. Let's see. So it's going to be like that. Okay. Okay, something like that. All right, and then this is going to come out like so. Okay. Just eyeballing it here, guys. Just eyeballing it. Just eyeballing it. And then that's kind of got a like so. So, okay. I'll just kind of make some lines here. Just kind of make it look all right. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a sketch. This is not rocket surgery. All right. Okay. And then the other hand is here. All right. Okay. And then it's got an elbow there, shoulder. Okay. Okay, we're in good shape. How are we doing? Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter just showed up and took over. Well, he was the only one who could defeat the bats. The G.I. Joe team was on the ropes. All right. Okay, so get this forearm here. Kind of get the outline of the weapon. There. Something like that. Something kind of like that. There. All right, let's work on his head, because his head's kind of the most fun, right? Enjoy the Hasbro channel, Aaron. Enjoy. Just consider, though, Lazarus, it was 1986 technology, right? 1986 technology, they probably had to program them on a Commodore 64 or something. It's actually amazing they could get them to walk upright. Which I don't think that was even, like, I don't think robotics had advanced to the point by 1986 where they could get like bipedal robots that could walk upright. I think that was more advanced than the technology could do at the time. Of course, they can do that now, but 1986, remember, 1986. Give Beachhead kind of one raised eyebrow. Yeah, most of his face is covered, so he has to express all of his emotions through his eyes. So give him one raised eyebrow, and give him his ski mask, his balaclava. And by the way, I hope everyone enjoyed the Stalker review today. I was really happy to get that done. I was very happy to be back in the saddle and making videos again, so I hope everyone enjoyed that. And I tried to actually make time and reply to some of the earlier comments, which I'm going to try to do more. I'm going to try to reply to more comments, at least as much as I can. And I'll do that mostly right after the video goes live. I'll try to be there and reply to some comments. It's always entertaining, though, because I had one commenter say, if you think 2020 is the worst year in human history, then you need to do some research. Do your research. If you think 2020 is the worst year in human history, which I thought was hilarious. You know, he had to have known that I was totally serious in that statement, because after all, it was right after I had accepted the blame for the virus and the lockdown. So you know I was being serious, right? You can tell. YouTube comments. Actually, mostly YouTube comments are fine. Don't have any problem with them. But there's always one special person in the bunch who takes everything just a little too seriously and doesn't get the joke. But what are you gonna do? I always say that if you ever want to become educated at anything, don't watch a YouTube video, make a YouTube video about it, and the commenters will come out of the woodwork and try to educate you on everything. Now you have to be careful because they're often wrong, but yeah, some people comment because it makes them feel smarter, and it makes them feel like, they're smarter than the guy making the video, and they got to try to be pedantic, but whatever, that kind of thing just goes with the territory. Okay, so we've got a strap across there, and we're going to have our magazines are kind of covered up by the rifle, but that's okay. There's a ton of detail on this figure, like a crazy amount of detail. Yeah, what about 1918 or 1812? You do your research. There's always someone who does not, who just doesn't get the joke, and you gotta let it go. All right. Let's see. Got some details. The backpack is gonna be mostly covered. I thought I'd try to get some details on the backpack, but it's gonna be mostly covered up. But that's okay. Now he has a couple pouches here on the front of his tactical vest. And I try to get those. All right. Okay. Before I get too far into this, I'm going to draw the line details on his balaclava because I don't want to go back and do it later. Oh, thank you, Tim. Sorry I didn't see you in there, but thanks for joining. Have a good evening. But nice to see you, Tim. Thanks for showing up. I'm not keeping a close eye on the live chat because I'm drawing. Can't really see it at the same time I'm looking at the page. So sorry to everyone who I haven't seen come in. He has an arm patch, which I will kind of add in here. It's really tiny detail. It's a bit more detail than I would want to draw usually at this level of rendering, but all right, let's do this. These lines on his mask allow us to give a little bit of a contour to the shape of his head, and so that's kind of cool. Go. He's got this, it's kind of folded up, kind of rolled up at the neck, but we've got that kind of knitted line detail on his, around his neck as well. There we go. Okay. Gonna kind of hint at this little, doohickey here on his backpack. And then, all right. Okay. It's taking shape. It's taking shape. Let's see if I can kind of let you see the progress there. Tell us, Comic Tropes wants to know my scariest time at the beach. I don't think I've had a scary time at the beach. Yeah, remember, we don't have beaches here, right? So the only time I go to a beach is when I travel. So I haven't been to beaches recently, but honestly, I think every time I've gone to a beach, it's been just a great time. I can't recount a scary time at a beach. Only good times. Okay. I'm drawing in this submachine gun here a little bit more because some details are going behind it, so I need those lines a bit more defined. It's not going to be perfect, so don't get out your ruler. Don't look at it too closely because it's not going to be perfect. But as Sandy used to say, it's good enough for the girls I go out with. All right. So on his belt, he's got these straps going down from his belt kind of diagonally here. And what I thought I might do is I might like do crisscross straps because that gives me like a crisscross here and another crisscross here. And I just like that. I like that layout. Yeah, no shark fights. I've never actually even seen a shark in person. Well, I mean, I've seen sharks in aquariums and stuff, but I've not seen one in the wild, so to speak. No scary shark moments. No, I've always had a good time at the beach. I love to go to a beach. One of my friends took a vacation and went to a beach and was posting photos, and I was quite jealous. Besides which, I think everyone knows who would win in a fight between me and a shark. I think everyone knows who would win. The shark would win. All right. All right, 40 people in here now. That's pretty good for an unannounced or a surprise live stream, so that's cool. All right, let's get these magazine details sort of sketched in behind the other details. There. And this will be like there and there and there. Okay. And then these pockets, which I just realized I did not draw the same size. Let's try to fix that a little bit. There, there, there. Okay. Okay. And this one, I don't think I'm going to like darken in the blacks, because with all of these details, I just think it would not look very good. So I'm going to leave the blacks not filled in. Give him maybe a couple extra pouches. Let's see. All right, his belt buckle is just like that. But since I'm not going to be shading anything in, I'm going to just add some minute detail just to make sure that it's filled in really well. A couple buckles here on the straps. Just kind of add a little bit of detail here and there. Ozzy says, question, if only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe, if they made an R-rated G.I. Joe along the lines of Resolute movie that held true to the characters, would that be a G.I. Joe? Well, yeah, I guess it would be. And I think that some people have suggested that might be a cool idea. I don't think they will do that, but I know some folks have suggested that they might watch something like that. And I would be interested in seeing what they could do with an R-rated G.I. Joe movie. But I don't think Hasbro is going to go that direction with the property. It's an intriguing idea. It's just an idea, you know, something that we can think about. Um, so now we got some crisscross straps, and then he's got a pistol on the left side. Give him pistol on the left side. Won't see a lot of the pistol holster because it's at an extreme angle, and then the other side just has a knife. It's coming together, guys. It's coming together. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for their support. I've gotten a lot of supportive messages, and that has really made a huge difference for me. So thank you. It's a difficult time. It's an emotional time. I don't like to show, you know, too much negativity and have a lot of be too emotional here, like on my show. That's just not, it's not how I want to present my show. But still be honest with everyone, you know, tell you what's going on. But I do some. It's rare that I'm less than reserved with my emotions. But the messages of support that I've gotten have made a big difference. And it's one of the reasons why I really do feel optimistic about the future. I mean, it's certainly not the way we would want things to turn out, right? It's not ideal. It's suboptimal, you might say. But I think we're going to be okay. I really do. Of course, but whenever something goes wrong, I always think about shutting down the channel, right? It's something that I've brought up a few times, and I keep contemplating, like, I just don't have the mental energy to keep the channel going. But honestly, I feel the opposite of that. Right now, I feel like I not only do I want to keep the channel going, I have goals. I have fresh new goals for the channel. And I want to do more. And a lot of you kind of know, maybe if you've been here for very long, about how G.I. Joe kind of saved me when my life wasn't going too well. And I think G.I. Joe may just save me again. I think this may be another time when focusing on this thing from my childhood, and this thing that has meant so much to me, and this thing that has brought me in contact with so many great people, and you know, I've made so many friends, new friends through this project. You know, this is something that has been an unmitigated good in my life. And that's what I want to focus on. That's what I feel like focusing on. And so, yeah, I want to do more videos, because that's a great source of positivity, and a great source of just good energy in my life. So thank you to everyone. I appreciate it a lot. It has meant a lot to me. And we're going to keep going. We are going to keep going. We're going to do good. So I totally forgot that he has like a knife over here. And he has like this bomb thing over here. So let's, I could leave those elements out because, good Lord, he already has enough stuff, but I think that'd look good. One thing I really like about Beachhead is that he's got so many things strapped to his body that he just looks geared up. You know what I mean? You know, he looks ready for battle. He's got all of the things on his uniform. Um, so he's got a like this little black knife here. Except I didn't draw that very well. Let's fix that. These little straps. And then this knife will come up here, and proportion wise it's going to be like just below the knife on the thigh. I'm trying to think of like the knife has to have a handle that will fit in those hands, and I can't make it too small. And then over here he's got a strap, and then like this sort of explosive thing on his leg. We're almost done, guys. And as soon as I'm done with this one, I am going to wrap it up, and I'll probably go to bed. I'm pretty tired. El Eternata. Comic Tropes has an excellent channel, by the way. I never miss one of Comic Tropes' videos. I am a supporter of Comic Tropes on Patreon, and Chris is just a good guy. I'm going to give him taller boots than the figure has because I think that I want to. I don't want to. On the figure, the trouser legs come down pretty far over the boots, but we're gonna just do things a little differently here. And he's got like this foot is the feet are like kind of jutting straight forward, and they're not quite level. Hang on. So I mean, I like this stance because his feet are basically pointed straight toward camera. His legs are far apart, so he's firmly planted. And then he's like, his torso is slightly twisted that way, and then his head is twisting that way or turning that way. So it feels, I mean, it's not the most dynamic pose ever. I could do a few other things that would make it more dynamic. But I do sometimes go more for like the understated pose. Sometimes, just because I kind of feel like understating things a little bit makes them a little more realistic and a little bit more believable. That's one of the reasons why some of my favorite G.I. Joe artwork is the artwork on that 1982 lunchbox. And I wish we could find out who painted that, because honestly, I think that artwork is fantastic. It's so great because the figures are I mean, they're not necessarily super dynamic, but they're not static either. They feel like they have weight, right? They feel like they exist in the real world. Not that they're hyper realistic, but they just feel right. They feel like they have substance. The clothes on their bodies look like they are made of cloth. They are not drawn like superheroes with, skin tight uniforms or anything like that. And that really excites me because when I see when I see artwork of Joe's that feel real to me, that makes the characters feel more real. And you can kind of imagine what it would be like to be standing in the room with that person, as if that character has come to life. So I just love that style. Not that my artwork is like that, but sometimes I do. Mike Stevens sends a super chat. Says your videos helped me through some difficult times and got me back into Joe's. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Mike. I'm really glad, first of all, that you got through the difficult times. I know how you feel. Had some difficult times myself. But thank you for letting us in this community kind of go with you on that journey. Because sometimes life throws you some curveballs. And it can be surprising where you find help. And I have found help here with this community and with you guys. And so I'll say thank you to you, Mike. Thank you for being here. That means a lot to me, and that helps me get through a difficult time. So thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of camouflage, kind of a sort of tiger stripe camouflage, and then we're calling it a day on this guy. And he's got like these sort of thin fingers on the camouflage that sort of wrap around his legs. Let's see. Okay. Close to being done. Okay. Okay. All right, I think that's done. Not a lot of shading. I really don't want to do a lot of shading. I just want to kind of leave those details as they are. All right, let's sign it. How about right down here? There we go. And that is drawing number 3. Let's go get the 3 of them and stack them side by side and see how we did. All right. And see if I can do that without knocking over the camera again. All right. Spirit, Zartan, and Beachhead. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Zoom in a little bit. There's Spirit. Zartan. And Beachhead. Slightly on Beachhead's kind of a smaller scale than the other guys. But there we go. And that's it. With that, I will say good evening. Thanks everyone for watching. I will be back for the regular Tuesday live stream. It might be a live scream too, but it'll be a live stream as well. Thanks everyone for your support. Yeah, let's just keep it going. I'm already working on the next video. That's in process. And I've got some other things I'm working on, so you will get a lot more stuff soon. So thanks everyone, and I will say good night. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.